What's up, YouTube? Dr. Kemp here, Hammond Doc once again. Today I'm going to be talking about the Hammond AO-44 Reverb amplifier. Now I have on my desk here two AO-44 amplifiers. And so I want to spend a little time talking about these amps. First of all, the AO-44 amplifier can be found in many of the Hammond A100 series organs. These reverb amps were placed in the A100 series of organs to serve as a secondary reverb system for the A100 organs, and they are also found in the Leslie 22R as well. So the same reverb amp that you would see like this in a Hammond A100 organ, A10, 102, A122, and that series of Hammond organs that would operate the reverb system in those organs. You would also find this in the top of the Leslie 22Rs. By the time Leslie began making the 122s, he changed the reverb amplifier. I have one of those up on my shelf as well. But this is a good sounding reverb. This amplifier, it's an 8-watt amplifier, so 8 watts of output power. And if you were to look on the internet and look one of these up, you will see a lot of guitar players talking about this amp. In fact, let me raise my camera back up so I can set up. What some people who play guitars are doing is they're buying these amps and then converting them into guitar amplifiers. And in fact, today I pulled up a video on YouTube. If you were to go to my Facebook page, Arthur D. Kemp PhD, or Arthur Kemp PhD on Facebook, and I just posted a video on Facebook of a gentleman on YouTube who took one of these amplifiers and converted it into a very nice sounding guitar amp. And not only did he build his own box, build a box for the amp to fit right into. I mean, it was wow. It was nice, very professionally done. I was impressed. He built an output area so that you could. He set it up so that you could run signal from the amplifier directly to a large speaker system. And so watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Then he plays the guitar through it. Oh man, so he plays the guitar through the speaker that he created, or that he designed, as well as through a large speaker cabinet with 3 speakers in it. I mean, it sounds good. Well, anyway, that's what the guitar guys are talking about on the internet with respect to the AO-44. But I just want to show you my AO-44s. I have a couple of them here, as I said. in the shop that I picked up off of eBay. I'm in the process of rebuilding or partially rebuilding both of these. One of them will go in an A-122 that I have. I have an A-122. I've already rebuilt the preamplifier. I've already built the speaker amplifier in that organ. And so it was missing an AO-44 reverb amplifier. So I decided to go ahead and buy myself an AO-44, and I saw another one and I bought it to refurbish and get ready to have it to install it in this Hammond A-122 organ that I have. Now let's go back to the desk here. Let me just show you some of the basic aspects of these amplifiers. One of the things that I noticed in looking at when I looked at both of these amplifiers, and the reason I'm showing you two of them is because there was something that I recently noticed, is that this one has it's like a volume control on it. Here where you can take the little screwdriver and turn up the amount of reverb right here. But this other one does not have the volume control on it. So that was one thing that struck me when I looked at both of these. I would rather have one with the volume control on it, because then you can control the amount. Here I am. Then you can control the amount of reverb that would be coming from here. But I guess Hammond didn't think that was important to do that at first, because of course there's a reverb switch on the organ itself, so you can control the amount of reverb from there. But I thought that this was an interesting difference between these two amps. Otherwise, I mean, they're the same amplifier. Okay, continuing on. Both of these use the same tubes. They use two ECL 86. That's I believe, 6GW 6 tube, or 6GW8. I believe it's a 6GW8 tube. But it's a ECL 86, and they use two of these. I was doing some reading about that particular tube, and what I read was that if you look at the schematics, that one of those tubes, in fact, I think I have I have some right here. Yeah, here it is, right here. I have one. It's 6GW8. Okay, ECL 86. And what I was reading, it said that this is actually two tubes in one. So when you look at the schematics, there are two tube spaces on the schematics for one tube, and then two more tube spaces for the second of these tubes. second of these tubes. And then there's a third tube, which is a EZ81, also known as a 6CA4. That's this tube. So there are 3 tubes that work in this amplifier. And see the transformers here. We'll just look underneath, see what they look like underneath. This one happens to be a nice clean one. I've already started doing some work on these amplifiers. In fact, I've already checked the capacitors in the amplifier, and here is one that I cut out 2 out of this amplifier, and it was leaking. See, it has the corrosion on it, like that acid corrosion on it. I don't even want to touch this thing. And so I replaced it, both of those. There's 2 of them. I replaced them right here. So if you would look, let me pan up. Right here and right there. Okay, are the 2 replacements. The next thing, and this was still good. This orange capacitor was still good, and this big one over here was fine. That was good. The next thing that I'll change on here, and the I still have some resistors to check, but the next thing that I'll change is this big can cap here. I checked this already, and it was bad. So I will change out the can cap. I was not able to find this exact can cap, so but the one that's closest to it I will install, and there's an additional capacitor that I'll have to add to it to make it work. And I'll do that, so I'll put my order in for that pretty soon. Here is the second one. I've not made any modifications of this amp yet. So I've checked the capacitors, which are back here, and found them to be outside of the range. So I will replace those capacitors. In fact, here's what I'll use. I'll be using 100 microfarad at 35 volt capacitors, 2 of them to install in here. And this capacitor was fine, and this one was also fine, so I won't need to replace those. I've also checked the can on this, and the can is bad, outside of the limit, so I will replace the can capacitor, this multi-can capacitor as well. Okay. When I was looking on the internet, and the guys that were the guy that rebuilt the amplifier to make it into a guitar amp, he said he just left the same can capacitor in there. He didn't change it. He left it in there, and he used it as it is. I'm sure you could do that. I'm not sure that it would, what that would do. I don't know if there's distortion. When I find capacitors outside the range, I pull them. I pull the old ones out, cut them out, and put in new parts, because parts are available. So I go ahead and do that, because I want to make sure that when I sell the organ to someone, sell it to a church or to an individual customer, that he's getting a quality instrument. And so I replace worn parts with high quality parts, so that my customers can get good quality instruments. Well, that's all I want to talk about, or all I want to say with respect to the AO-44-1 reverb amplifier today. So I'm going to end this session, this video, with these words of wisdom. Peace out.